Hello there, baby dolls, chocolate sprinkles. So we are going to discuss when traditionally does the alt season for crypto happen. I am going to now have to take the defensive stance and assume that my dark curse prophecy will happen. Bitcoin does not hit $100,000 in the next cycle. It scams us along this channel. I believe this is the safest route for us to take. And you know, you don't have to go all in, okay? Don't worry, we're going to go through this. I just want you to know that we have to protect ourselves if Bitcoin truly does get to this zone of $70,000 to $80,000 and it forms this triple top. You can protect yourself, and you want to know why. Why does this work out? It's because you have an option. So if you basically say, you know, this circle, if you exit first, if you exit anywhere from 10 to 70% of your portfolio into USDC, you pay your taxes and you leave it on the side. You know, you might say, hey, I want to exit 33% or 50%. If you exit there, this is the interesting thing. Traditionally, if Bitcoin continues going up, and you're actually, let's say you're wrong about the hedge. Well, you're never wrong, right? Because you're hedging, basically. So if it keeps going up, when it comes back down, it eventually does stop. In this zone, there is a big alt season mania. So it's a slingshot effect. So this is like your protection. So if you're able to just get out a bit, if Bitcoin goes up, when it comes back down, don't worry. There will be alt seasons, there will be different narratives for you to participate. There will be all these different games out there, if you will, in the casino for you to come and throw your money, play momentum, and get excited in there. And the more you are wrong, which means the higher Bitcoin goes, the bigger the alt season. So you'll get even more. So what this basically concludes me to tell you is you should be getting out something in this circle zone no matter what. Even if you believe Bitcoin's definitely going to 100K, I want you to please think about the odds of that. Because if you say, okay, there's a 75% chance it goes to 100K, well, that means that 25% chance it doesn't, you should be covering your booty here. You should be covering yourself. You put it into USDC and then you leave it on the side just in case a dark curse prophecy happens. And don't forget, it's not because crypto is bad. This is because the stock market ultimately pulls us down and there's some sort of scamming that happens in the stock market, friends. That's why, because most people believe it's the Bitcoin halvening that produces the new all-time highs. But if you look at the correlation of Bitcoin and stock market, we break highs when the stock market does, okay? Now, let's go back. I want to show you something. So if you're new, welcome. Please press like, subscribe, bell button, and all, friends. I'm here to teach you something. So Bitcoin has been the harbinger of beautiful, wonderful alt seasons, all right? It's the digital economy out here. The biggest alt season happens in the window of time about 12 to 18 months after the Bitcoin halvening. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily correspond to Bitcoin going euphoric, but alt seasons are apparent there. So around here, August 2012, somewhere here was the alt season. Sorry, the Bitcoin halvening. This was the Bitcoin halvening. And if you walk forward 12 months, you have about here, you have this zone. This is 12 to 18 months. So you can draw a box here, right? And you can understand that there was an alt season there. The alt season in this very first one came at the very end. It was November 2013. Literally in 28 days, Litecoin did a 40x. It was crazy. Many altcoins went, there was one altcoin that did 100x. Just in 1 month, literally 1 month. I'm not joking. November 1st to November 28th. I went and did all the research. I did all this handwritten research myself, made Excel sheets. I went through every single chart for myself. I wanted to see the numbers, see the charts, look at everything. And I went and I used CoinMarketCap's historical data. So I remember this like the back of my hand. That's why I'm here giving you this free, beautiful, juicy information. So the main important part is you already see that there was 12 to 18 months, there was alt season. It's basically the end is near. The party comes, but then it goes away, all right? Now, if we go to the 2015 to 2017 cycle, this was the Ethereum-led cycle. This was the big, gargantuan early majority adoption cycle alt season, right? Now, the Bitcoin halvening was around here, say July-ish 2016. If you walk forward to June, July 2017, this is when the end began. It was 12 to 18 months after. In this zone, you had Bitcoin rallying, and then when it stopped, the final alt season happened at the very, very, very end when Bitcoin stopped. So it was Bitcoin. So this run was, this is how crazy we got scammed, friends. So in 2017, this is where I'm starting, all right? This was basically Bitcoin goes up, and then alts go up, and then Bitcoin goes up, and then alts go up. There were 4 big waves, giant, astronomically huge returns. The average altcoin did 70x in the top 10. I'm not joking. 70x, friends, that from the bear market. That's crazy. It diminishes down to like 7 to 10x in the recent cycle. All right, so this was some information for you. Now, if we go to the most recent crypto cycle, bear market and bull market, so not the one we just happened, the one before, what happens is we have the Bitcoin halvening around May 2020. Remember, it was after the zombie virus. And then surprise, surprise, you should know this, right? If you walk exactly forward 12 months, you get May 2021. Like, it's literally 12 months. And guess what? If you walk forward to the 18-month mark, it was exactly the other top. Isn't this crazy, man? It is just crazy. So literally 12 months and 18 months. Like, you can just draw a box in here. You just know that, hey, it's time to exit. Now, this was super difficult to exit out because it was the beginning of the box and then the end of the box. But hey, this was when the alt seasons were basically happening, peaking. And as you know here, if we zoom in, you can see in this season, this was the Coinbase IPO. This was Dogecoin mania. This was SHIB hitting its 1 million X. This was Elon Musk shilling. That was all the doggy coins, everything going nuts. By the end of the year of 2021, we had the NFT mania. We had DeFi 2.0, all the other Ponzi's. A lot of the final alt season happened basically here. Most altcoins actually topped out here. But the ones that were able to push through, they were able to top at the end of the year. All right, so I know Hex was one of them, for example. But many altcoins, say like ChainLink, for example, topped out here. And Hex topped out at the end of the year. So did things like Solana and Phantom. They went throughout the year as well. All right, so this is an important number to remember. So for some reason, now we don't know exactly why, but it is what it is. 12 to 18 months after the Bitcoin halvening, we have the alt season that comes in. So what I'm going to do is the exact Bitcoin halvening is about April 2024. It's about here. All right, April 2024. So my base case of how I think things happen, this is just what I feel, what I smell, what I feel, how I can see things happening, okay? By the time you see this, hopefully it's given us enough time to repair. So I believe because Garbage Gensler, head of the SEC, right, Mr. Burns, because we're really coming after him and because he's a scum, subhuman filth and he's corrupt, he's trying to throw the crypto industry a bone. He's trying to give us the Bitcoin ETF to get us off his back. So unfortunately, what this means is the front running of the Bitcoin ETF comes earlier than I initially expected. I believed that the Bitcoin ETF would come in 2025 to mark the top. That was before. But now with this new information, unfortunately, this is the new thing we have to adapt with. So this is just a guess, but maybe we run up to 40 to 50K zone somewhere, right? And it's not on the Bitcoin halvening, but before it. And this will be a Blackrock Bitcoin ETF run. And I think the first hard take we'll have is people at the top here, they will not say that it was a Bitcoin halvening run. I believe people at the very top, because you need an excuse to buy the top, right? You need an excuse. Everybody will be saying, no, it's not a Bitcoin halvening run. The Bitcoin halvening run was already priced in, etc. They'll make up whatever narrative it is. So I think the only way to trap people is if it pops up and then it dumps 3 months before the Bitcoin halvening. Right? It's actually done this before. So this is probably how we trick everybody. This is how I just feel like it would kind of trap the most amount of people because everyone knows about the Bitcoin halvening. So the only way I think we could really screw everyone is if we go up way earlier than everyone thinks and we dump way earlier than everyone thinks. And then on the Bitcoin halvening, nothing happens until we continue upwards. So that's the first type of sign that some shakeup is happening. And this will be the Blackrock Bitcoin ETF, the excitement, the front running of the buying coming. Now, this is where we move into the unfortunate. This is the critical zone. So in this midst of turmoil, I think we continue the cycle of 2024. And then because we are now showing the world too much information about crypto and everybody's coming in for the casino and many other reasons I've explained why, I believe in every other cycle, there used to be, see 2025 here, this year, I've got the vertical line 2025. So there used to be, I'm going to just draw a little elephant, right? A little elephant here. An elephant, right, to represent Dumbo. So this is a toilet paper hand, okay? Elephant, and is going to have a little toilet paper emoji. So this is an actual toilet paper hander. In previous cycles, when crypto was not mainstream enough, this person would have bought in 2025. They would have bought 1 year after the Bitcoin halvening. And it's exactly what they did in 2013, in 2017, in 2021, every single time. Right, so I can even show you in the previous cycle, friends, just to show you, for example, let's bring this Dumbo person here. Let's bring this toilet paper hand person. So because of the zombie virus, right, there were only strong hands buying here, strong hands. But then what happened was when we finally went up, the weak hands entered. But this was now cycle number 3. This was Bitcoin's 3rd cycle. So you can see how now, because there are now 3 cycles to go under the belt, the market has now learned what to do. And this is how markets adapt and change to the competition. This is what happens. So now we come back to today. What I believe is the people who we used to call exit liquidity, who we used to believe would be the FOMO, the retail buyers, the people we're going to exit and make a lot of money on, right? This is all tongue in cheek. This is how just the game works. Those people, instead of buying in 2025, they are now front running themselves. Because there is now an ETF. There is now more mainstream adoption. Okay, so the prices are going to go up. There's a Blackrock ETF. They can literally buy it. They don't have to do these convoluted ways, going through dark alleyways, selling one of their fluffy slippers to hop on a boat, go to a jungle, and then sign up to MetaMask. And what's a wallet transaction? They don't know how to use any of that, friends. They don't know how to, and they don't want to know. But now they can just type in the word Bitcoin and buy the ETF using their superannuation or their 401k. So it's so much easier for them to come in and impact the price. So because they are now front running, the weak hands come in too early. So this is my kind of what I see happening from here. So what I see happening is they come in and Bitcoin stops anywhere from, it could stop at 75k to 95 or 100k even, somewhere in this box. Okay, somewhere in this box, we stop. And then, right, and it's going to be probably, if you see at the end, it's anywhere from the 4th quarter of 2024 into the 1st quarter of 2025. So somewhere here. And then we stop down. All right. Now you see these arrows. These arrows are 12 and 18 months after the Bitcoin halvening. So if you see here, see friends, see here, we top up, we come back down, and then we make this little lower high. This is, if you remember from the Wall Street cheat sheet, that is the complacency rally. And I've got the Wall Street cheat sheet for you right here, friends. I mean, we can even do this. I can even make it transparent just so you can see, right? You can see the euphoria comes back down and a complacency rally. So I just want you to know the complacency rally is super dangerous because you can see here, complacency is, so belief, thrill, euphoria. Maybe we hail Michael Saylor as the next, Elon Musk or whatever it is as it goes to the top. And then there's a crash. But we're complacent. So normally we have emotions in line with the candle color. So if it's green, we're happy. If it's red, we're sad. But in complacency, because we have had such a high of the green candles going up and we really believe 100k is coming next, when we have this little bit of a dip, we believe, if you zoom in here, it says we need to cool off for the next rally. That's what everyone believes. And this has happened time and time again. We just need to cool off for the next rally and no one is worried. Everybody is complacent. That's the word. Complacency happened here. Complacency happened up here. I know this is a disgusting chart. That's how manipulated we were. But it was the Coinbase IPO, and then we went down. And we made a lower high. And you see, we should have had our warning signs. We're like, wait a minute. Why did we retrace 30% already when Coinbase did an IPO? So if you just do this ruler, look at this. Bitcoin was down 30%. We're like, that makes no sense. Why are we down 30% after Coinbase just did an IPO? It's meant to start the bull run. And guess what? Complacency, you know? Also, you might even call this lower high complacency. So it's starting to get jumbled. You can see there's a lot of manipulation here. But traditionally, in the past cycles, this is the Bitcoin 2017 run. This was a complacency crash here. We went down here. So this is a weekly chart. So I'll just have to zoom in here. If you put it on a daily, you can see. So there was up here, crash, and this was the complacency right here, the lower high. And that was basically the end. But no one's paying attention. So you might say to yourself, hey, when we crash down and we make the lower high, I'm just going to get out. It's not so easy because there are so many crashes along the way. How about this one, friends? Look at this. I'm glad I can show you this. Please like, subscribe, bell button, or share with your friends and family because we're all getting smarter and wiser and friendlier together. There was this crash down here in Bitcoin along the way up. So as we went up, there was this double 2 weeks of crashing here. And you might say, oh, complacency. But guess what? It went up higher. So it's not so easy to say that. That's why you really got to see this from a long way away. Otherwise, it's not going to be as accurate as you think. So the idea is, if we get into this zone and then we come back down, so I'm going to leave this here. If we get, let's say Bitcoin scammed us 85K, we come back down, right? You're probably going to wonder, why would an alt season happen here if we're about to plop? Well, here's the thing. Firstly, nobody knows we're about to plop, all right? People will believe that if we stop at 85K and we come here, people will think the next leg is up to 100K. That's what everybody's going to think. And the beautiful part is, because we are reading the crowd and we're trying to get an edge on top of everyone else, the wonderful strategy you can employ is to just hold your altcoins, because this is when potentially the alt season, the final alt season will happen. Because what would happen here is people would then front run the idea that Bitcoin's going to hit 100K. So instead of buying Bitcoin to 100K or waiting until it hits 100K, people just buy the altcoins. And that's what happens at the very, very end. It's where people lose their minds. They're like, well, Bitcoin's definitely going to 100K. And look at this. When Bitcoin's like, $70,000, you only get a plus 50% above 100K. No one cares about that. But if you buy altcoins, man, you could be getting, instead of plus 50%, you could be getting a 3, 4, 5, 6x, 10x in these crazy things. Who knows what type of alt season, yield farming, crazy mania is happening in this time. And of course, unfortunately, part of the curse is it's not that crypto fails, it's that the stock market somehow has some sort of rollover, recession, crack. Something happens. We don't worry about the narrative. Don't worry about it. It's just like, this is how I just see us all getting let down. Now, this is how I have planned it and I see it. And I want you to know that, hey, I really want Bitcoin to hit $1 million. I want it to hit 300K. I want it to flip gold. But from what we see right now, if this scenario plays out, I just want you to think about the odds in your mind. Because honestly, for me right now, it's 70%. All right. Now, I hope over time, something comes and appears and I can smell it and absorb it and it lowers the odds. But right now, I still feel like when we get there, it's going to be still 50-50. Which means what I'm going to be doing is getting out 50-50. And I'm saying that's it. I'm going to get out 50-50. And my strategy is, if we continue down, I'm not buying until there's blood, like absolute blood. And that might be the bottom of this channel. This is like Bitcoin all the way back to 30K. You can imagine the disappointment and the heartache. People will just give up here, right? That'll be the ultimate giving up of all time. This will be the worst pattern, the most disappointing, disrespectful, shameful pattern. Very unfortunate. Bitcoin maxis will just capitulate on the idea. I promise you right now, they will give up on everything. I promise you, right? This will be the biggest disappointment ever. Like, can you imagine if we go down here, if this actually happens, friends, and we go down here, people are then going to be saying, we're going to be pulling out the ruler, and you're going to look at this. We're going to be saying, oh, wow, you've held Bitcoin for 3,000 days. So 8 years, and you're only up like 50%. So you do from here to here, right? You're barely up a 2x. Yeah, you'd be up a 70% after 8 years. People just give up. Think about all the money printing that happened in the 8 years. Think about everything that's happened. We'll be underperforming the stock market and dividends. It'll be such a big shame, a big disappointment. And that's when we get back in. That's when we get back in. Now, of course, we don't know what happens next. So what if I'm wrong? And I would love to be wrong. Well, if I'm wrong, you still have half your portfolio at least. And if we go up, well, guess what? You kill it. You absolutely kill it. Because if we go up, we're not stopping at 100. Maybe we go all the way to 180. And then when we come down, there'll be a big alt season anyway. You see these arrows? These arrows are going to line up anyway, right? So these arrows, 12 to 18 months, these arrows just mean the time is going to, the time on schedule is just going to give us a bigger alt season. It's going to happen around the same time. It's just going to be, who knows, right? I don't even want to try to imagine what type of alt season would happen in this scenario, but it would be absolutely phenomenally huge. So this is something we should take seriously. And if you don't, well, honestly, good luck to you, because at the end of the day, you already know what I just drew. This would be the most disappointing thing of all time. And let me tell you something. Ever since I've been in crypto, it's been one disappointment after the next. I promise you that every single time. You know it, I know it, we all know it. It's been one giant disappointment after the next. You know who it's not disappointing for? It's for people who got in like 8 years ago. It's for people who got in 2016 and beyond before that. That's who it's not been a disappointment for. And it hasn't been a disappointment for the people who, so as we say, we buy in the depression. Okay, that's how we win. We're literally on a little island. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for watching my channel and being part of the community. I appreciate you so much, okay? You are so much better off here. We are sharing with our wisdom and our kindness. We're keeping upbeat and positive attitudes. We win. We literally win. Thank you very much, okay? You can't invest based off emotions. You just can't. You have to invest based off strategy, okay? You got to have your steel ovaries, your steel testicles, all right? Now, in this alt season, okay, my final point I'm going to go through is altcoins. Now, we are completely guessing, friends. Completely guessing here. In this, if this happens to the degree I'm talking about, we don't know where the alts will be. So I have Hex, for example, right? Is Hex going to be, let's say this happens at the end of 2024. I know it's crazy, but I mean, maybe Hex is like 30 cents. Maybe Hex is like, this is EHEX, right? Maybe EHEX is 20 cents and PHEX is like 35 cents, right? So maybe it's like equivalent to like a 55 before it all comes crashing back down again. That's possible. If we look at other ones too, maybe Ethereum, maybe ChainLink, for example. This is Link ETH. I'm going to show you. Maybe Link, for example. Link, okay, Link here. Yeah, it's possible. ChainLink only goes back to like anywhere from $50 to $35, yeah? By the end of 2025, nothing is guaranteed. Like, what if this happens? What if we go up and then it happens, friends, and then it's a giant double cup and handle? That's possible, right? This is exactly possible. The chart I just showed you, right? I'm looking at ChainLink here. I mean, I know we don't want to believe in this, but of course, man, it's not about what we want to believe in. It's what the market's going to give us, you know? If I just go back, just to quickly show you, all of this stems from the fact that gold did this scam long channel. This is the gold chart since 2011, 12 years. Look at this. Look, channel 1, 2, 3, 4. It makes like this giant cup. Look at this giant cup and handle. Now it actually faked out again, and now it's coming up here, which is very disgusting. It's because they keep manipulating the price of gold. They keep sending price of gold down so it doesn't compete with government currencies. We all know that, right? So when we're looking at these, the altcoins, I know you want the answer just as much as me. We want to know, what's the altcoin that 2 or 3x's its all-time high? What breaks it? I promise you, we don't know. And there's a high chance that the ones that happen, it's not in our radar. We don't even know they exist. And there's no point even thinking about it, all right? Because at the end of the day, it's pretty much random. Most of it is random. We just have to hope that some sort of new tech comes along and we get some opportunity to diversify around crypto into something new tech where we can actually envision and see future buyer demand coming in, all right? So remember, even though I am going to be exiting a portion here no matter what, there's still a chance that I'm wrong with my odds. And okay, that's fine. They're odds. So there is a chance that, yeah, Bitcoin goes to 150K, 250K, and the friendship prophecy hits. The beautiful part is you're going to have like 50% anyway. You're going to have half your bags. You're never going to get all in or all out, you know? So if you were to ask me, it feels like let's be honest with ourselves, friends. we got a lot of bag holders, all right? In every single altcoin, we have a lot of bag holders. So I wouldn't be surprised if, this is Hex, right? If Hex comes up here and then we get scammed again, we come back down and then we have to do a big cup and handle. And the real move is 2026, 2027, 2028. So hopefully that bucks the trend. So this is what I'm expecting because no one's expecting this. Everybody's expecting minimum all-time high. Every single person. And here I am to say, hey, maybe we just got to take what we're given. This is why I've been stressing to you. Stressing. Can you get a second job? Can you sell any other extra items around the house? Can you ask for extra work hours? Can you work overtime? Can you get a promotion? Can you please just do whatever you can to take advantage of it here? Don't worry, this is the Bitcoin chart. Most altcoins are still in their death and depression zone, all right? We are running out of time before it finally goes because the difference between us winning and losing is not going to be anything more than did you buy in the depression? Because everyone else is going to be buying in the danger zone and they won't know it until it's too late. Me and you, we're always going to be friends. Negative prices or infinity, we're still going to be here together forever. Tell mum and dad, don't worry, we got it covered and we still love them no matter what. Like, subscribe, press the bell button and all. I'll catch you in the next one.